Just waiting for the stream to settle down and we'll get going. So, hello and welcome to another impromptu Crafty Simulations live video. I'm sorry there's no real schedule to these videos, but again, I find myself with free time. It's a rarity. So yes, I thought I would bring out my very awesome, fantastic Black Square Duke. We're in the Standard Duke today. I think it was actually in the Standard Duke to start off with. We did the first flight of Humberside up to Newcastle, which where we are now, and we'll be doing the Newcastle to Edinburgh, a little hop. I was going to schedule a flight and do a routing and basically going over country as we route up north into Edinburgh, but I have decided to fly this VFR. So we're actually going to fly out over the coast, basically follow the coastline north, and we will basically be going straight in again to Edinburgh. So that's the plan anyway. So let's hope everything's all up and running, and let's get inside this aircraft. So let's remove these, we don't need those. Just checking everything that I can remember. I think we're all right for fuel, let's just check. Yeah, we'll bump that one back up to 60. Got ample for our purposes today. Why can I not have external power? That's intriguing. Well, let's just check on that, because I know you can click on this on the outside. Oops, let's not walk into your own wing. There was a click spot for it. Hopefully we've got enough juice in the aircraft to get going. Right, anyway. So let's just check everything's honky-dory. Right, so we're going to have battery on. Start the pre-order for the left side. So they're open, they are. So yeah, we did this flight. I was going to do a flight around the UK, and I'm sort of doing an impromptu flight around the UK. Set it off from Humberside and up, like I say, to Newcastle at the moment, and we'll be going a bit up north now to Edinburgh. It's not far. Direct routing was only about 20 minutes, I think it was, or just over 20-minute flying time. Right, so the left engine up. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 off. Let's hope this starts. And we do have a good start on the left. Looking for 1,000 RPM. Pre-order off. There's 1,000, left generator coming on. And a rinse and repeat for the right side. So we are currently sat at a GA parking spot, I believe this is, And we do have the fuel station sat in front of us. Don't need fuel for today's flight, I've just already added it. Right, so mixture to full throttle, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, fuel pump off, throttle pull back, max to both. And we have a good start. Pre-oiler off, left, right generator on, going to main inverter, master switch going on. Put the aircon onto auto heat. Plan is correct. It's just going to do a direct routing. Like I said, I was going to put an overland route, but we decided to do things a little bit different today. So we are going to be routing up north over the coastline into the Bay area here, and then into Edinburgh. So it'll be a bit more of a scenic route. Set this for 5,000. Not really too high is a VFR routing today. So let's hope Trackir is up and running. Flaps down for takeoff. T's and P's are looking good. Sparking VFR and set to on. Right, let's get out to the runway. Helps actually if I have my stick. Well, come off the brakes. course, this is Newcastle's normal scenery. I haven't got any special scenery for this airport or Edinburgh. I think the flight simulator nowadays does look pretty good. I mean, there obviously is better sceneries out there representing this airport. Okay, it's pocket brake set. Alright, fuel pumps are now coming on. Pre-order is off. Landing lights. I'll have the navigation lights on as well. We're not going to require any pitot heat for this. Flaps are down. Walking altitude. Autopilot is set. Right, so I believe we are ready to rock and roll. Mixture set, cockpit set, engine set, let's go. Power set. The brake gear's coming up. That's coming up. Autopilot's coming on. Oh. Pop signal on that. Pitch trim, that's what I wanted. start our move over to the left. We're not going to be following the direct routing today. We're going to be taking a coastal route. So landing lights are confirmed as off. Start closing the cowl flaps. Flaps are shut. Altitude hold is now selected. We are 5,000 feet and on our way up north. There's something about this aircraft, it's really beginning to catch me in the same way that the Twin Star did. I mean, it's a black square aircraft, so it's along the lines of what A2A still do, in the fact of you have a very detailed aircraft. And I'm absolutely loving this one. I was finding myself looking at the TBM 750, I think it is, by Black Square. We already have the 850, I think it is, 800, 850 in the sim already, but that's a standard aircraft. So I was looking into getting a turboprop. I was also looking at the brand new Carinado Cessna. Completely night and day from this aircraft, but a general aviation aircraft that may be worth a punt. Sort of reminds me weirdly of a King Air. I know obviously we have the turbine Duke, which would technically be an alternative to a King Air, but this is what this aircraft reminds me of as well. A luxury aircraft able to take you quite a lot of distance in relative comfort. I mean, it is a 4-seater, this version. Relatively comfortable looking. It'll be quite an old aircraft now, the Duke. We don't see too many of them this side of the pond. Oh, what was it? What was the latest black square aircraft? The Starship, that was it. That thing looks all levels of futuristic. It doesn't deserve to be on this planet in this timeline, but So Black Square do make some absolutely amazing aircraft, and they put the time and effort into creating some very good, very detailed, very good sounding aircraft. It's very hard to actually find anything on this aircraft of which I don't like. I mean, you've got a functionality wise fully working cockpit. We have the opportunity even to put our GTN 750s in. Obviously you do need to have a you had to pay for the GTN 750s separately. They do not come with the aircraft, but you do have a GNS 530, I think it'll be, for this aircraft as standard. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. No matter where you look at this aircraft, it just looks absolutely amazing. And the functionality of this aircraft is actually second to none. Capable of going up to 10,000 feet without having to play around with the pressurization settings. Yes, the pressurization settings do work. Barreling along now to about 150 knots on a very nice day, as we'll make our run up to Edinburgh. Welcome, Layback. Glad you could come aboard. No, I haven't really tinkered with multiplayer, to be honest. No, it's, you know, I don't. There's some great pilots out there. So there really is some great virtual pilots. It hasn't really caught me to go play multiplayer. It's something I've looked into to fly multiplayer. It's just with my work schedule and then my video upload schedule, getting the time to actually fly with people is quite difficult for me. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's quite difficult, and I've just kind of tried to limit the difficulties in in my flight sim, I have to get 2 videos at least out for my normal schedule. But yeah, it is something I want to delve into. I want to dive into there. I'll have to work something up. Something about this aircraft, just it sounds really, really good. I always say that sounds maketh the aircraft, or maketh the product. There's a lot of times we've had in the past, not so much on 2020 or 2024, but in previous simulators we've had products that looked really good and then they fall flat with the sounds. But Black Square seem to do their homework when it comes to the sounds, and not just the sounds of the great big honking engines on either side of me, but the sounds of the switches, the dials, the clicking of the glass. It's all very well done and very believable. Still amazed that for a person that started flight simming on old computers that had floppy drives, to get into the stage where we look at the scenery nowadays is just, it's more than night and day difference between those early days of flight simulation. I sunk so many hours into FS 2004, FSX, P3D. Not so much in P3D, I must admit. It didn't really, you know, it's based off FSX, but when the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 came out, I was like, oh my god, the graphics are so good. And with 2024 coming out and its rather turbulent birth, to see where it is now compared to its first day one release, it's so much different. I spoke about on the previous video the fact that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will be available for the first time ever PlayStation 5 users, coming out early December, I do believe. I think it's the 8th, 7th or 8th. So I'm hoping that it comes out fine. I'm hoping that it has a much better birth than it did on the PC. I know some people have not been too happy with the idea, saying that Asobo was spreading out before trying to fix issues. Well, I don't really necessarily agree with that, because I can remember flying this simulator on day 2, I think it was, because I didn't get it on the release day, I got it the second day after, and it's just so much better now, for me personally, than it was on those days. I'm hoping that to get more users into the simulator community is going to be a good thing. Obviously, Sim Update 3 fixed quite a lot of things, added a lot of functionality to the sim, with the fact that you can download stuff now. Instead of streaming it, you can actually download it to your computer, which is a godsend. But I noticed before Sim Update 3 came out that the sim was starting to behave a lot better. I used to spend a lot of time on 2020 and only really delved with 2024 occasionally just to see how it was doing. And I look at it now, and I'm like, I haven't touched 2020 as a sim for quite a few weeks now. And with the likes of Black Square releasing their own aircraft now to run and install themselves correctly into 2024, to have the direct version for 2020, it just means I'm not going back to 2020 at the moment. I'm not deleting it, but I'm not going back to it. I did buy a custom computer for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and DCS, weirdly, and I built it, not personally, but I got a company to build it for me, and was going to fly VR. And in DCS, VR was incredible. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, it was a little bit of an issue, and unfortunately I bought the wrong headset, because it turned out that my headset was going to be out of date and not supported by Microsoft because of various things. So that was a lesson learned. So about 40 miles now from Edinburgh, if we flew directly over the land here. We're routing ourselves a little bit more over the coastline. I've just noticed on the old 750 here we have this airfield out in the middle of nowhere. In previous videos I flew the what was it, the MH60 Black Hawk, Seahawk navalised helicopter, and apart from a part of that package I got the aircraft carriers. I believe that is one of our aircraft carriers. I won't be trying to put the Duke on the carrier deck. Can't quite see where the carrier's gone to. He's under the clouds, obviously. Obviously, I don't believe in if this was real, I would be allowed to get too close to a carrier. There he is, just down there, one of our Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carriers. Currently the Royal Navy having 2 of them. I live in Lincolnshire, and the airbase that has the F-35 Lightning multi-role aircraft based at it is actually at RAF Marham. I haven't had a chance to visit RAF Marham. It's quite a hard airfield to go to, and quite even harder to actually watch anything. But yes, the F-35 Lightnings that are based there for the Fleet Air Arm and the Royal Air Force. Very impressive piece of kit is the F-35, a little bit expensive. You're not going to get much change out of $100 million now, I think it is, if you want to purchase one. Putting ourselves into a slight decline now. We are getting close to where we need to be. So fuel boost pumps are coming on. Landing lights are on. Open the cowl flaps. Looking for the dotted line here will put us into runway. I can't remember officially what runway we're landing at now, but it will line us up just nicely. So we'll look for about 2,500 feet to start our running. approach now. Confirmation landing lights are on. Boost pumps are on. Full mixtures. Power flaps are open. 19 miles to run. $15 miles now to run. Soon we're coming off autopilot. I think I've got the runway in sight ahead of us. So autopilot's now coming off. That's going down. Approach. It's coming down. Gear down, 3 green. At 10 miles to run, 2,000 feet. It's very hard to judge altitude when you're over water. Certainly is a lot easier when you've got land. Flaps going down to landing. Happy lights going on now. Got a nice long runway here. So, final checks. Landing lights are on. Gear is down 3 green. Flaps are down to landing. Fuel pumps are on. Cowl flaps are open. Welcome to Edinburgh. We'll put a landing light right there. Runway light even. Right, so landing lights are coming off. Taxi lights are on. Well, that interesting place to put your signage. Alright, flaps are coming up, mixture's pulling back. Park ourselves over to the right here. Parking space 108. Parking brake is set. Boost pumps coming off. Generators off. Taxi lights are off. Beacon light is off. Nav light is off. Mixture's pulled back. Master off. Main inverter off. Battery off. So, welcome to sunny Edinburgh. Quite a nice little flight. I think I will carry on this flight at some point. I'll probably be heading off more up north into Scotland. Find a nice little airfield to get this little Duke into. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I'm trying to do as many live videos when I can get around to doing them. Obviously, like I said earlier in the video, it's quite difficult for me due to work, but I've found myself some spare time, so that's why you're getting a few more live videos. We'll be going back to normal content, as in a minimum of 2 videos very, very soon. I've already pre-recorded one video and got that one ready to go well, later on, but there is another video I'm going to be recording soon as well, and that will be coming out very, very soon. So yes, if you've got any questions or comments about the Duke, please feel free. If you've got any suggestions as to where I can land this thing somewhere in Scotland, please add them below. I'll see if I can get the Duke into there. Let's not try and put it on an aircraft carrier. But yes, if you've got any questions or comments, bang them below and I'll get around to answering them as soon as I can. And I hope you've enjoyed this live video, and I will see you in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 video very, very soon.